Hi, welcome to Vlogmas day 21. I thought I'd put in here a video of why I wear Lolita. I first discovered about Lolita fashion when I was looking through YouTube channels, and it was back at the beginning of my fibromyalgia diagnosis, and I started watching a YouTuber who was back then called New Vagabond, and she had fibromyalgia, but she also wore J fashion. J fashion means Japanese fashion. And then I kind of went down the rabbit hole of Lolita videos. I first discovered Princess Peachy. She was the first Lolita YouTuber I started watching. And then I started watching Lovely Law, Fille de Porcelain, and then other YouTubers that sort of trickled off after that. Hello Batty, and then yeah, it just kept snowballing. And the more and more I found out about it, the more and more I realised that Lolita fashion was something that I knew was me, and I wish I'd discovered it a long time ago. So what Lolita fashion is, it's an alternative fashion style, which originates from sort of the streets of Harajuku, which is in the area district of Japan, and the fashion originally came from sort of more Western outfit styles from sort of like the Baroque era, classical era, sort of, you know, the big petticoats, and that's what it's inspired by. And Lolita fashion is basically a twist, a more modern 21st century twist, as it were, on it, and the kind of ideal that you can wear whatever you want and it doesn't matter. Like how you've got sort of like goth styles, like goths or cyber goths, or, you know, have their own individual alternative style. Lolita is that, but in a kind of like pretty, let's wear petticoats and frills as like a daily thing, and there's no reason why choosing to wear something different should be a problem or should be frowned upon. So that's kind of the ideal that sings to me, and the reason why I decided to get into Lolita fashion. I discovered that Lolita fashion has a whole side community. It has its like own language and words for things, and it's almost like this entity which is like separate. It's like having a Harry Potter universe. It's kind of like it's that like secret thing that it's a world upon itself, which makes it very exciting and very enticing, and that really pulled me in, and I still just want to find out more and more and more about it. I love learning about different individuals who wear Lolita fashion. I love learning about how the style you could alter different parts of the style, what the original sort of rules of Lolita were, and how some people sort of twist it to make it more individual to them. And, you know, are you staying within the rules of what is actually a traditional Lolita sort of shape? Are you actually kind of following the rules of the fashion, because there are certain rules? So yeah, it attracted me because of the colour, because of the uniqueness, the way that you can express yourself in a very feminine way, which wasn't about being provocative. It is a fashion that is giving you a way to express yourself creatively through putting outfits together. They're not costumes, they're a personal fashion to you and what interests you. I used to find that I was one of those people who just loved dressing up all the time. I wear lots of makeup, even if it was just like a really small event. I would like just wear, like, if it was just, you know, if something had a tiny little theme to it, I would go crazy and I would just like wear stuff for that theme. And then when I found Lolita fashion, I was like, this is what I've basically, my heart has been doing for the last so many years, but I just never had discovered or come across the fashion. I did see Lolita sort of worn in some ways in some anime, and I was like, oh, that's really pretty, but that's not real, is it? And then you kind of find out that actually there is a sector of it that is real, and the fashion does exist, and it's not that you're becoming a certain character or a doll or anything like that. That's kind of a big misconception. Dolls, the reason why I don't like the term dolls is because dolls are sort of lifeless, and plastic and fake and can be manipulated into making them do what you want them to do, and that's not what I am. That is not what most people who wear Lolita fashion are. They're not sort of like they're not like dead inside and being used. That's kind of why I don't like the term doll, because we're not. We're going for the look of the clothing that dolls actually happen to wear, but we're not being a doll. But we just like how pretty it looks and how those elements fit together. So there's a grey area. But yeah, Lolita fashion is something I got into because I wanted something different from the norm. I was fed up of normal everyday clothes. I just thought I'm quite a creative person. I do a lot of crafty stuff and I do a lot of colourful things, and I feel like I need something else that's mine, that I can, the way that I can express myself. And I love the fashion because it makes me feel so good, it makes me feel so strong, it makes me feel powerful. Like if I'm having a bad day, it makes me feel good. And in the same way that someone might have like a dress by Chanel, or you know, a bag by you know, I don't even know these brands because I don't buy them. I'm thinking of Michael Kors or something like that. Like, you know, having items like that can make you feel really good about yourself. That's what this fashion does for me. It makes me feel like how I feel inside and how I would like to present myself all the time. Though it's just not practical to wear it all the time, whether you're in a work, you know, a very strict work setting where the way that you portray yourself could upset the work that you do, basically, which some of the work that I do does, and I have to be respectful of that, and I have to, you know, rein things in and rein in some of the creativeness in what I wear day to day. But because of that, and I think a lot of us do. But yeah, this has been a little bit of a rambly video about why I love Lolita fashion, a little bit of kind of what it is, and if you'd like me to talk about any specific areas in particular, I feel like I've been into Lolita fashion almost 3 years now. I've learned a lot, and literally every day I'm doing something to research more about it, to understand it inside and out. I do feel like I have a pretty good knowledge now. I search to find the correct angle on things with Lolita. When I went into it, I never wanted to be an eater, which is basically someone who does Lolita badly, and it just doesn't look great, and you're kind of naive and you portray it wrong. I'm not saying, I'm not knowing, and I'm not perfect. I experiment with things, some things don't work, but that's kind of part of the fashion. We're putting things together in a creative way, in a creative space, which is why I love it so much, and I'm just constantly learning. So yeah, if you want some an advice or some information on a certain area of Lolita fashion, or a specific type of video that you think would be helpful, let me know. But I particularly love wearing Lolita at Christmas time because you're not often stared at as much. You can walk down the street in like full on Lolita and people kind of just like don't even look at you, which is great because you're being your expressive self, but you're not getting all these kind of weird views and comments all the time. But when you're wearing something so different, that's just something that you've got to learn to expect, and that's completely normal. People are always going to ask questions or point or poke, or even though it's not the most humanly respectful thing to do. But yeah, Lolita fashion is part of me. There were some times where I felt like was it something at a phase I was going to go into and then come out of again, but I feel like, I know I've only been in it 2 to 3 years now, but I feel like it's something that's going to stay with me forever, and it's become a part of me, and it's very exciting. So yeah, come back tomorrow for Vlogmas day 21. We're almost at the end now. I've got a couple more ideas for videos. The next couple of days videos might go up late because I'm working all day from 9 in the morning till like 8 in the evening, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do for those, but hopefully I will get something up for you. If it's a little bit late, I'm sorry, but that might be a little bit of a treat for you for after Christmas possibly. So thank you so much for coming back, and I'll see you in my next video for more cute kawaii loveliness. Bye!